This is a Great Western Railway service to Didcot Parkway. We'll be calling at Radley, Cullen and Didcot Parkway.
So I'm on the train on my way to Didcot to see the Bite exhibition by A34 and to attend the Meet the Artist session. And if I do meet the artist, will I be disappointed? Is it drawing back the curtain on The Wizard of Oz? Or is it a completely new world? A chance to witness the inner workings of an enigma wrapped in a social media tag, a mystery hidden behind digital bits. I'm keen to find the living, breathing A34, but I'm not sure what I will find. I never thought of myself as a train nerd, but actually there's a whole world of systems, language, metaphor, understanding, rules and procedures that are as rich and prone for discovery as the works of Tristan Tzara or Richard Hulsenbeck. Maybe a far stretch to consider the railway network to be the Dada of British industry, but in so many ways its defiance of logic it's a fitting crown. It's notable that Didcot is a railway town. It's a place where journeys intersect, where passengers are en route. Obviously people live in Didcot, but for the most part it seems an enormous quantity of human interaction that doesn't stick around. So of all the places for an artist who lives primarily outside, who exhibits in the exterior, in the uncharted waters outside of the gallery, to have chosen Didcot for an exhibition, a place to stop and pause, to lay forth their wares like some kind of peddler spreading a blanket full of accumulated trash and treasure. It seems entirely appropriate, and yet still a mystery. For archival and research purposes, I decided to film the Meet the Artist event. Things began as you might expect, with introductions and an interview with a member of the gallery staff, where A34, in disguise as they always appear in public, answered questions about identity, art, and whether creativity should be for sale.
Thank you all for being here. It's really exciting. Hello, A34. Thank you so much for being here. And obviously you are anonymous, so thank you for trusting us with your anonymity. I know that you don't normally do interviews, so I suppose my first question is, why now?
Why now? So, for those of you familiar with my work, this project started in 2018, where I altered some road signs. I got a lot of press coverage, and from there, it's set on a path of being much more riskier than the previous projects that I'd done, much more ambitious.
20 minutes into the interview, however, visitors witnessed an unexpected turn of events, when an identically dressed figure entered the gallery, also claiming to be A34.
Yeah, I think it's good to, I think what's so appealing about the work is that it's accessible in a way that, you challenge and make people question without being...
So just you want to meet the artist? You said it was black and white.
No, this is the Meet the Artist.
Sorry, what do you mean to meet the artist? I can't think. I am the artist. I'm A34. And who's it supposed to be?
This is A34.
No, it's not. I'm A34. What's going on? Who is it?
Visitors witnessed a war of words, with each artist emphasising their authenticity. Cornerstone staff and the audience were baffled, as they were ultimately left wondering who really was A34.
Oh, he's clearly the actor that my agent gets for me. Oh. Yeah, you're an actor, mate. I mean, I don't know what's happened. There's clearly some sort of confusion. I told my agent at the Cornerstone that I've got this one. This is the one time I'm doing this. I don't know where you turned up.
Okay, just wait, I've never acted in my life, mate. You're the actor. I mean, look, you dressed up like a cartoon face, mate. You look totally ridiculous, mate. What's going on?
He's clearly a fraud.
What, he's a fraud?
You're just a cheap A34 thing.
Hold on a minute. Says the bloke, right, who sounds nothing like me. You need to find out what this bloke is, mate. It could be anybody. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm just as baffled as you are and actually really embarrassed. You just stay here just for one moment. I'm just going to take my colleague. Just please don't move. Just 1 second. Sorry.
That was not what I expected. Just like any of the other audience members, I was expecting to meet the artist in as much as one can in a interview situation like this, but I would put the confrontation we've just seen on a par with Will Smith at the Oscars in terms of a confrontation, a claiming of the rightful ownership of something, and the mystique of two masked men arguing their place in the cultural vanguard. Frustratingly, the battery on my camcorder began to show signs of going flat, and some of the action-oriented pieces do seem to possibly have been lost. I tried to continue filming on my phone. I'm running out of space on there, unfortunately. But through the camera lens, normally seen as some kind of frame of authenticity, we witness something uncertain, unauthentic, perhaps unapproved even, which of the versions of A34 is A34. It's here where the metaphor with the road breaks down. The road is reliable. It is tarmac. It is asphalt. Within the realms of the artist, we only have one person's word against another. And even with the art audience, the facilitators, the staff at the gallery not being certain exactly what had happened, one's left wondering quite what happened. I'm at a loss for words. I'll have to go home and think about this somewhat. Pulling out of Didcot, gathering my thoughts about exactly what I just witnessed. We had 25 minutes perhaps of genuine Q&A with plausible answers about the creation of the works and the intent of the artist. And yet we had a disruption which cast doubt across the entire event. The purpose of the Saturday afternoon in the gallery, the purpose of the gallery, the purpose of the exhibition, the questions around agents, actors, anonymity. The intrigue of A34 continues. The mystery, if there is one, is not solved. Was it the person who'd done the majority of the work of the Q&A? Was it the person who burst in with only minutes to go and disrupted the entire event? Was it even me? Apparently some kind of common thread running through the whole thing. I can assure you it is not. Part of me knew I wouldn't meet the artist. Of all the artists who wouldn't turn up for their own exhibition, it will be A34. And I'm of the belief that neither of them were A34. They're somewhere behind the artworks. They're somewhere in a shed, in a studio, creating away as we speak. And they've roped in their friends to be part of this tapestry, this tableau. At least that's what I want to believe. And perhaps that's all one can believe at the end of the day. Curiouser and curiouser. Well, it's been some time now since the Meet the Artist incident, and whilst it wasn't clear to me at the time, having reviewed my footage of the talk and what turned into such a spectacle, it's clear to me now that this was in itself an artwork. It was part of the exhibition, using the exhibition and playing with the fabric of the exhibition. Everybody in the audience, myself included, were part of the artwork, and yet it was both for our benefit whilst we were part of its experience. I have mixed feelings about it because I went in good faith to what I had hoped would be a chance to meet the artist, and whilst I was rewarded somewhat, some might say richly, by the experience, there was a feeling as if I was being duped, of being satirised, in the way that the street signs alterations satirised the town of Didcot. There was a sense, perhaps, that one was being laughed at, and not laughed with. And yet, at the same time, the absurdity, the reliable absurdity of A34 was apparent. It struck me, reviewing the footage, that with there being two individuals purporting to be A34, dressed very similarly but not the same size, they resembled a kind of artistic Oddbod and Oddbod Jr., the Frankenstein-type monsters from Carry On Screaming. I can't go so far as to suggest that the gallery member facilitating the session played the same role as Fenella Fielding does, playing Valeria Watt in the film. But if you viewed the whole thing as Carry On Cornerstone, there's a sense of farce and ludicrous behaviour reminiscent of post-war slapstick, saucy seaside banter, huddling away under the banner of traditional English entertainment. Which is great. But is it art?